Hey everybody, it's Code here. In today's video, I'm going to go over my setup and then discuss some of the other ways that you could use your controls or the other ways you can set up config. I'm also going to go over the benefits of using my config and why I think it's optimal. Of course, this is what works for me. You can always change these things for yourself, but I just wanted to take the time to go over that. Now, I actually got this video idea from one of my viewers that commented on my Pocket Dodge Advanced tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and put his name on the screen here. Thanks, Jeremy, a whole lot for sending me the idea. And I'm going to go ahead and make that video today. I made that layout, that picture, which includes my mouse and keyboard, so that you guys can look at it, tweak it, decide if you like it or not. Me personally, I think that it's close to optimal for a mouse and keyboard player, especially since I do believe that in most modern 6-DoF games, and just most games in general that use keyboard and mouse, they typically tend to have fire on the left side and then fire secondary on the right side, or whatever they might have, like scope, or like Call of Duty would have like grenade or something. I just think it's a common button, and for anyone who's familiar with the fundamentals for configs in games, I think it translates well. If you play Minecraft or Elite Dangerous, or I mean even Roblox, right? Like all of those games are going to have a somewhat similar feel if you're coming straight off of it. But so we're gonna start off and go to controls. One thing I definitely wanted to make sure that I mentioned: make sure that this button right here is clicked, because when you initially start your profile for the first time, that's not going to be selected. You're wanting to go to configuration mouse, and then in here, of course, you already saw the picture. Make sure you pause and take a look at it, and then I'll go ahead and give you the opportunity to look over all this as well. Basically, left, primary, right, secondary, flare, middle button, bomb, middle button, but up. And then reverse rear view is going to be down, mouse wheel down. But this right here, this is one thing I wanted to talk about. When you first set up your profile, that's going to be set at in. You're going to want to hit Y. That way your pitch isn't going to be reversed. And trust me when I tell you it's not comfortable. You're definitely going to want to have that on. Cycle primary and secondary are my side buttons. I don't like to use the actual buttons to switch weapon to weapon. I think this is just better because I don't have to stretch my left hand all the way to the number pad on the top. A lot of people criticize that decision, and if that's something you don't want to do, then that's something you definitely don't have to do. That's just me. I like to cycle. I have the order memorized, so if I'm using the fusion, I know that I'll have to click my mouse button 3 times to get to the spread fire. Right, so when you have that memorized, it can become really quick, and you can actually save some hand stretch. Let's go to the keyboard here. A is slide left, D is slide right, space is slide up, left shift is slide down. You don't want to use turn left or pitch forward or pitch backward. That's mainly just joystick stuff. Even with joystick, I never really use turn. I don't really see the benefit of it. But for me, I just use slide. That's it. So slide left, right, up, and down, A, D, space, left shift. Moving on to bank. Left is Q. E is right. I think it's really nice, and I'll go over why I think that this in particular is definitely a good one, or like a good config, how it meshes with each other. Don't worry about this stuff. Accelerate and reverse. W for accelerate, and then S for reverse. Rear view is R, and tab. So that's set to automap. You don't have to use that for automap. It's kind of like a free button. I don't really use it for anything, so I have it set for automap. Drop bomb is B. I don't really use it that often, but it's there if for some reason you can't reach your mouse in time. Fire flare, F. I use it a lot. I use it very often. Don't worry about that stuff. Moving on to mouse control type, I like to use rebirth. I, for a long amount of time, used old school, but it is what it is. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Make sure this is enabled right here. Keep keyboard mouse focus, and then turn off sticky rear view. You don't have to turn that off. Keep keyboard mouse focus and sticky rear view. You want this one on and this one off. For sensitivity and dead zones, skip all of this nonsense and go straight to the bottom. If you're using old school, there's a separate sensitivity. You're typically going to want to do that all the way up. For mouse sensitivity, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notches from the right over to the left. So 5 notches from the right left is what I use for mouse sensitivity on left slash right and then up slash down. And that's it for sensitivity. Let's go to MISC options. Ship leveling is going to be turned on automatically when you download your thing. Make sure this is off. Make sure that is off. If that's enabled, you can't tricord. Huge, 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 huge. I don't think there's anything else in here. This is just preference stuff that you can decide for. Or that you can decide what you want to do. As far as order, I have fusion, quads, Vulcan, plasma, spreadfire, and then lasers. Just the lasers, not the quads. Never to auto-select. Secondary, I have mega, smart, homing, concussion, and then never to auto-select proxies. I'm pretty sure this is vanilla. I'm pretty sure that this is, I kept it the same, so you ain't got to touch that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Some of the reasons that I think my config is optimal is that it's really ergonomic, right? So W, A, S, D, Q, and E are right next to each other. So I can make those instantaneous movements without stressing my hand out. And that includes left shift and space. It's all right there in one hand. And it's only on one side of the keyboard as well. So even if I wanted to do something that isn't in my normal scheme of movement, like rear view, I can click R or F to fire a flare. Sometimes I use that when I'm just I want to keep my fingers on the fire button. So F is there. Like I explained before, this configuration is pretty common in most other games. So that's why I think it's close to optimal. But yeah, you have your flare, rear view, of course bombs if you want to use it, which is B. And then for the mouse, I don't really have much to say. I guess the only comment is about the cycle, but I went over that. So I think that pretty much concludes it. I mean, I can't think of anything else that would be in my config. So feel free to subscribe. I post decent content, and I hope I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.